Let us share this video first, this live first. So, you are welcome. Yes. You're welcome to my live today, today's chat, live chat. So you're welcome. This is Gracious Grace. So let's talk on my latest changes. Latest changes. So you're welcome. The changes I've made recently. Remember that as the days are passing, all of us are aging, whether you believe it or not. So it is important to continue to make changes to both our diet, our lifestyles, in order for us to continue to enjoy a gracious aging and a healthy body. So I have actually made some changes to my lifestyle. I have made a few changes, and these are the things I want to share with us. It is very, very important because the way our body is changing requires that we also will change our lifestyle in order to meet up. And so the last time we met, I had live chat with us here. Remember, I shared with us on my ugly experience with the unripe plantain. Yes, and how it also taught me a bitter lesson. Some of you who were around during that chat, you also heard what happened, and I saw your comments. And so in this new year, I have decided to start going low on the carbohydrates. It's one of the major changes. Now, you do not definitely have to wait to be confirmed that you're diabetic or that you have one ailment or disease or the other before you start to reduce your carbohydrates. This is one of the changes I'm making in 2026. Carbohydrates are not the building blocks. Whether it is natural carbohydrates, I'm talking of the popular carbohydrates like the yam, the potatoes, whether it's rice, cocoyam, or whichever carbohydrate, even the simple carbohydrates like pap. Now, some of you are not even aware that foods like pap are also carbohydrates. Now, as you are getting older, you need to start to slow down on carbohydrates. Yes, you heard me. I have decided to do that in 2026. As a matter of fact, I've made it that not more than 1 serving a day, or sometimes no major serving a day. Be selective of the carbohydrates that you take because they are not building blocks. This is one of my secrets that I am living with now. They are not building blocks. And so they have just few things to do in your body. They can cause you weight gain. And if they don't cause weight gain for you, they can cause inflammations. That's what they do. When they get into your body, when you take them, and the body cannot definitely use them to build new cells. The body cannot use them to build. It's not a building material. You can use them for energy, to work, to do certain things. Like if you have your starchy food in the morning and you are going out and then you just burn it, it's just, utilized in the process of your movements, your exercise and others. But even then, I'm still very careful. You need to still be very, very careful with carbohydrates. A lot of us are still consuming carbohydrates in different guise. Now, when I say in different guise, when you prepare beans, for instance, with pap, white pap or yellow pap, now it is hard to believe that this is carbohydrates, but I tell you, this is also carbohydrates, both of them. So if you have crossed 60 years, like some of us, by the special grace of God, one of the good things you should be doing to yourself is to reduce the carbohydrates, reduce the carbs. Just ensure you reduce the carbs. And if you are in doubt of those carbohydrates, I mentioned them already, and I'll go ahead and mention most of the common ones we have here. The yam, the cocoyam, the unripe plantain, even the bananas, they're all carbohydrates. The pap, whether it's yellow pap or white pap, they're all in the carb. Even beans, it comes with carbohydrates. Rice, whether it's polished rice or polished rice, it comes with carbohydrates. So we have more carbohydrates in our environment. So you do not have to, even most of the fruits, they come with sugars. I'll also be sharing with us today part of these changes as it regards to fruits. And so instead of these carbohydrates, you can get your energy. What we are looking for is energy. What we are looking for is energy for activity. Instead of looking for these carbohydrates for energy, I now go for fruits. Now, I have realized also that even the fruits, most of the fruits that we are running away from, they do not actually cause insulin resistance when taken in moderation and when also taken at the right time. They do not cause of fruits. Now, you may have your opinion about it. Fruits and vegetables, I'm talking. You may have your opinion, but I have tested some of the fruits for energy. And a couple of days, I've checked my blood sugar, and it didn't really affect it negatively. Because this is one of the ways you can actually make your own or come up with your own opinion on this thing, some of these things I'm talking about. And so you need to reduce the carbohydrates. This is what of the changes I've made. Drastically, as much as you can, cut off on so many carbohydrates. Elizabeth John, you are quite welcome. I'm glad to have you. So hi to you. So you need to be very, very cautious with carbohydrates, my dear. If you are already 55, 60, I didn't know this earlier, but now that my body is actually signaling me that it's time to slow down much more on carbohydrates, that's exactly what I'm doing. Remember before now, I was enjoying my sweet potatoes and some of these natural occurring carbohydrates. But after 60, if you have a mom that's over 60, be careful how you combine foods for her, or the way she consumes carbohydrates. Instead of those carbohydrates, you can replace it with fruits. This is what I do. You can get energy from some of the fruits. And if you are worried, if the person is already diabetic and you are worried about the diabetes, ensure to combine these fruits with the fiber in them, or you add cinnamon in them, or even cloves. You can mix it with cloves. It is better that they will not create insulin resistance the way the carbohydrates does, especially the unripe plantain that a lot of you are, running after. The unripe plantain, there is something like overhype on it, because a lot of people put it as their best food when it comes to managing diabetes, when it comes to managing high blood sugar. But it's not so. And it has also taught me a lesson, a bitter lesson, which I shared with us during the last live chat. And I do not expect that you should avoid it altogether. Now, that takes me to the second change I've made in 2026. Talking of the dietary change to help maintain a healthy body. The first one is to reduce the carbohydrates. Seriously, beware of those root and starchy carbohydrates, and be more careful about them. Very, very careful. Then number two is to include a variety. Very important. You do not have to just consume one food. You're missing out on a lot of minerals. This is one of the changes I have also made. Not to just, some of you will maybe, because we have said it's okay to have one main meal a day. Of course, this is what I do, is one of the changes. Before I could eat 2 times, even sometimes 3. But of course, after 60 years, I try to limit it to one main meal a day. Then some other little things like fruits, like veggies, and then some other raw foods, and then nuts and seeds are the other things that may go before it or after it to allow the minerals. Now, why you need to incorporate a variety of other foods is that before now, you could just, eat one meal a day, like your swallow and your vegetable soup, and maybe with a piece of meat or even fish, and you are good to go. But after 60 years, it doesn't work out again. As for me, I have noticed it. After 60 years, your body will still be placing demand for magnesium, for calcium. Of course, the milk, you are no more taking milk. Majority of you are no more taking milk. You are no more taking dairy products. You are no more taking a lot of these foods. So, by the time you just, maybe you heard that it's okay to have one meal a day, and you just, okay, I'm going to have beans, and maybe some of you that still want to take it with your plantain, beans and plantain, it will be okay. This is one of the changes I've made. You must try to incorporate food that delivers a lot of vitamins and minerals. And the best time to even incorporate this kind of food is in the morning. Not really in the morning as to say early in the morning. I mean your first meal of the day, like after 1 o'clock or about 12 o'clock or 11, depending. But at least 3 hours after you woke up and you have had your water therapy, a little exercise here and there, maybe with your hands, with your feet, or you have just had some movements to activate your organs. Of course, you know that it is okay also to start with foods that will act, or they may act as digestive aids. Now, if you are, depending on where you are also watching me from, there are some digestive aids like lemon juice, like ginger, apple cider vinegar, and some other foods that you can use. Even the papaya seeds, the papaya seeds as tea is also a digestive aid. There are several other foods that you can make as tea in the morning to take to activate your body. As a matter of fact, yesterday I have had to take something bitter, like I had to boil the papaya leaves to take after my water therapy, because I felt I needed some cooling inside of me. Remember, occasionally you must take some bitter foods or bitter tea once in a long while. You just make yourself a bitter tea to help to cool and calm down your liver, to help to reduce the yeast activity. So in the mornings like that, after the water therapy, after the other minor or simple in-house exercises you may have done, or massaging and the rest of it, you do not have to just, start eating anything that is available. No, you do not have to. You have to allow it up to that 12 or 1. For best result, you can have it a little earlier, depending on how you have your dinner, how heavy it was, how rich it was, and so many other factors. But then, ensure that in that singular meal that you are using to start your day, that you have sufficient foods that comes with magnesium, like some lentils, that foods that comes with calcium, food that comes with just vitamins and minerals, a good number of these things to help your bones. Not just to jump into one solid food and start swallowing with soup, like some of you like to do. Sometimes maybe you have a good soup around, vegetable soup prepared, and you felt that, okay, that's what I want to have for breakfast. That's not good enough. What you should be having after your water therapy, exercise, and the rest should be foods that are rich in minerals. And I want to also will also bring us to the to the third one, or rather, to the third changes I made. Having my food in liquid form, more liquid food. Now, if you are getting to this age, 60, or you are above 60, and you are not used to liquid food, my dear, it's time to start. Liquid food in the sense that you have to either blend it to a smoothie or to a juice, or just if you have a way to blend it or to make it something that will become easier for your digestion, you go ahead and do it. And as much as you are doing it, ensure to add the fiber. Yes, I did a video of me having my breakfast smoothie. You can go and also watch it. And I want to share with you what I had in that breakfast smoothie. It's in my channel. You can go watch it. It's a short, not a full video, just a short. But I tried to capture as I was preparing it. And what was in that smoothie was just oats. Already prepared oats. Then some banana, and not banana, plantain. There's a difference between the banana and the plantain. The plantain, partly ripe. I also boiled it, and this time around, I had to put everything together. Add chia seed. Remember, chia seed is also high in fiber, helps to control sugar, and it's rich in vitamins and minerals, including omega-3. So I had to pour the soaked chia seed inside that blender where I put the already prepared oats and the plantain, and added other spices like cinnamon. Of course, there was sea salt. And at the end of the day, I blended everything together. It looked like a smoothie. You can go and watch it. It was my first time of doing it, but it was very calming. And after preparing it, I had to blend tiger nut and dates to serve by the side of it instead of dairy milk. Remember, tiger nut is also rich in calcium and other nutrients, and it's gluten-free. It tastes great. Instead of using sugar, you can add it. I added it as a side milk to that smoothie. Don't miss to watch it. Then the date was part of it. Date is a source of potassium and other heart-supporting nutrients. So these are some of the foods you should try to incorporate in your breakfast. If you don't do it, most times in the evening, the result will show. Before now, it didn't used to show. The fact we're never there. But these days, I normally feel it in the evening. So you will feel that, that deficiency. If you are someone that is, if you are someone that is sensitive to your body, very, very sensitive, you will notice that deficiency when the minerals, calcium, magnesium, potassium, they are not there. So you have to, ensure that you find a way during your first meal. This is what I do. It's one of the changes I made. During your first meal to bring in this food. And you can find them in cocoa too. You can find them in your cocoa or chocolate, dark chocolate, as some of you are calling it, if you get a good one. Magnesium is there. It's It has anti-inflammatory effect, of course, and then you can also make a cup of it occasionally to ensure that you get these nutrients. Because before now, your body could cope. You could just eat, swallow, or anything in the morning and walk away. But nowadays, as you continue to get older, whether you believe it or not, a lot of things are changing. There are some things that your body were able to cope with before, but you just suddenly notice that it's no longer, business for you as usual. You just go and just lie down. Not at all. Things have changed within you. Your body is beginning any little deficiency. Your body will be complaining. The same thing with me. That's what happens. Any little deficiency, my body is complaining. But before now, it wasn't so. So you must be careful to ensure that you bring in these foods. Sometimes, and you need to have foods like this sunflower seed, pumpkin seeds. Have them at home. You do not really necessarily have to take them every day, because when you take too much, it has its own effect. It's not even good for your thyroid. It causes something like unusual heaviness. It's not just okay. But have anytime you suspect that you've not had a magnesium-rich food, calcium-rich food, or healthy fats like nuts, peanuts, and the rest, you can just fry this thing at night before bed, maybe 30 minutes before bed, and take a little. You will see how calming it's going to be. It's going to help your heart. It's going to strengthen your heart, your muscles. It's going to help you to relax. Because before now, you could just lie down, you're relaxing already. But when these minerals are not there, calcium, magnesium, even vitamin C, as simple as it is, when they're not there, your body is like, it's not together. And so these are some of the changes I've made to try to bring in more of the minerals-rich food, especially after the water therapy. That first meal that hits the body is very important. I said it during the last live chat that was one of the bitter lessons I learned also in that experience. So Joel made it. I have a question. Okay. Go on. Okay. You can ask your question. So, I also shared with us the bitter experience I had during that unripe plantain lesson I learned. And so after that, of course, you need to also be careful with the first food that hits the intestine in the morning. Very important, because the effect is not usually felt that morning. You may not feel it in the afternoon. The effect may be felt most times when you are about to sleep. Yes, when you are about to sleep, that's when you start feeling maybe your leg doesn't seem to be connecting. The nerves, the blood flow, the circulation is not really as it's expected to be. And most time it is because of what you had in the morning. Very important. So you need to be careful with what hits your intestine after your water therapy, as the first meal of the day. You must be very, very careful with it, because it is going to determine the rest of the day, including your evening. So include mineral-rich foods to support your heart. Magnesium-rich foods, calcium, foods that are richer in minerals, not just carbohydrates. Before now, I could just sip sweet potatoes in the morning, and I'm up on it to grab. But not anymore, especially in the morning, when you've not had anything. When it's the first thing coming your way, you must be careful to resist the temptation to go for it. Yes, certain foods that are very, very sticky, certain foods that are very difficult to digest should not be the first to hit your intestine. You just need activation, a mild form of it in the morning. And if you are even in doubt, or if you do not have what to take, you can chew foods like cloves that aids digestion. That's what I do. Like 2 or 3 on empty stomach to get the bacteria under control and to activate the intestine. It must not always be ginger, lemon juice. Of course, sometimes I could stay a week without the lemon juice because you need to have a variety. You need to have a variety of foods, because there's no particular food that when you take in excess that won't come up with one ugly effect or the other. So you need to incorporate variety, because variety, they say, is the spice of life. Variety is the spice of life. So you need to ensure that you incorporate mineral-rich foods in the morning in order to avoid trouble in the evening. I hope you get that. So this is one of the changes I made, to incorporate the mineral-rich foods after my water therapy as the first thing that hits. As much as possible, try to incorporate foods that will supply most of the minerals without much of the calorie. That is it. It's one of the changes I have made. Then there is another change also that I have made. I've already talked, I hope you're noting it down. I've already talked about the liquid food, making your food more liquid as you age, if you are in your 60s. You may not be a fan of smoothies like myself, maybe because, well said, okay, you're welcome, my sister, Remai Ade. You are welcome. I really appreciate you. Where are you commenting from? Please let me know where you are commenting from. So I'm saying that, sometimes you just want to have something in the morning. I'm waiting for your response at Remi Ade. Let me know where you are chatting me from. And okay, from Kent, Welling, Kent, UK. Okay, I'm glad to have you in the house. I'm sharing some of my changes as a senior. The senior that I have been sharing. Of course, I've been sharing my wellness secrets. Not being on medication at this age, not being on blood pressure, blood sugar, arthritis medication, and all such things. And it's just that life I'm actually sharing with my subscribers to help us to share some of these wellness secrets and the latest changes I made in 2026 are the secrets I'm sharing today in this chat. And you can put some of them down if you don't mind. So because every year you must make some changes as a senior. There may be some foods you may have been enjoying, before now, but suddenly you discover that they are singing a new song. You can no longer understand how they are going. That is to say that your body is like saying, I don't want this food again. Give me something else. That's how our body is. So sometimes you'll be eating a particular thing, enjoying it, and all of a sudden you just notice that your body is no longer like comfortable with it. You just need to make some change. And that's why I say that we must be making dietary changes as we age. If you want to age graciously, you must continue to make it then as much as possible. I'm 63 and resonate well with you or with all you have said. Yes, I will be 63 next year. This year I'm 62. So I'm glad to have you in the house. You are a senior and I want to congratulate you for hitting it at 63. And then by the grace of God, we are going to even go beyond 80. Yes, It is not the will of God for anyone to go young. But because of what we eat and our lifestyles, that is what is most times responsible for most of the things we call diseases. Either we are suffering deficiencies, yes, either we are suffering deficiencies or some other, things. And over the years, God has really helped me. I've suffered in the years of ignorance, trying antibiotics over and over again and testing on a lot of medications. That was over 15 or 17 years now, but ever since I got to know that food can actually be your medicine, that's exactly what I'm sharing. And so in 2026, I noticed I needed to make some changes. I already said 4. I don't know when you joined the house, and those of you who have been watching me from the beginning, I've been counting. My belief is make your food your medicine. Yes, that is it. Now, once you know what your body is looking for, that's one of my secrets too, and you can supply that thing, that your body will, you are just okay. You are just good to go. And anybody that knows this, if you can know when your heart is behaving like it doesn't have magnesium, you can go get yourself some pumpkin seeds, have them at home. And it's not at all times also that seeds are the only, the only things that you can get. There are sometimes also, this is something that is quite strange. It may sound strange to a lot of you. It's in your kitchen, yes. Thank you so much. All you need to heal is in your kitchen already. Now, there are sometimes also when you think, this is what you need. This is what your body seems to be looking for. Only for you to notice that you've had too much of it from the fat family. Now, when we are talking of these nutrients, you can find them in fat, embedded in the fat category, like seeds, nuts. You can find them in grains. You can find them in fruits. You can find them in vegetables. Look at. Now, let it not look like you are looking for magnesium. It must be in pumpkin seed. It must be in sunflower seed. It must be in cocoa. Not at all. You can also find that same nutrient in leafy greens. You can also find that same nutrient, magnesium for instance, and calcium, in grains like oats, in grains like millet. You can also find them in seeds, like sesame seeds. You can find them in almost all the food categories, including avocados. So you need to know, sometimes you will notice that you may have had an excess. I am talking with reference to myself. There are sometimes when I notice that I've had an excess of a particular food category, like the fats, for instance, and that what I'm looking for shouldn't come from fat. Please, I want you to listen to this. Sometimes I just feel that though I need this nutrient right now, but it must not come from fat. It must not be hidden in fat. I should be looking at grains. I should be looking at vegetables. I should be looking at spices. You can find them in spices too. You don't know. If spices like cayenne pepper, you don't know that spices like cayenne pepper have some nutrients also that supports your heart, that supports your circulation. So you need to know. There was actually an occasion when I was actually tight. I was actually during that occasion, I was wondering it was a high level of stress. Let me just put it that way. And you know that when you are under stress, everything is not just okay, particularly your heart. You need to guard it that time. You need to guard your heart when there is stress, physical stress, all kinds of stress. You need to guard your heart because that's the engine room. So you need to watch what you eat. So on that very occasion, That was 2025. I'd had egg, all this goat meat and the rest of it. I already did a video on God. I was just enjoying myself. Sometimes we tend to go overboard. It's human. And that's where we need the grace of God. Because you are talking about it, you are teaching it, you're doing whatever, it's not enough. Sometimes you need the grace to have that discipline that you need. Because if you see tasty food, your appetite is there, most times you just eat and enjoy, and before you realize it, you have even had more than what your body should take. Especially if you are not on a calorie count scientifically, like most of us. So before you know it, you may have actually had something in excess. And when it's in excess, you start struggling. How do you get rid of it? So that is the problem. And we must be careful as we age also to avoid some of these things. So on that particular occasion, it was actually, I'd already shared this in, I think at one point, because it was really something that I think a good number of us, we need to also learn from it. And that particular occasion, it was actually cayenne pepper that came to the rescue. It was my first time to chew cayenne pepper, fresh raw cayenne pepper, and the way it worked shocked me. So what we are talking about is not just fairy tales. These are things we have tested. These are things we have experienced. We can see that it works. So you need to have these things in your kitchen. In 2026, the best place to invest as a senior is in foods, healthy foods, and all these foods that you use as your medicine. Just ensure you have them at all times. I already shared something about fermented millet, which I normally take. You can go and watch it. I've already put out that video. I shared it yesterday. Go to bed. And that takes me to the next thing I am doing. One of the things I'm also doing differently in 2026. One of the changes I made. Now I've observed that when you're about to go to bed, if you have not had anything liquid, sometimes sleep takes longer because your body is not oxygenated. Sometimes your body, for one reason or the other, doesn't tend to, settle and unwind easily as it used to do. This is what I have, in my experience, I've had. So you lie down and it's like your body is not really, it's taking longer to unwind. Sometimes you start taking a hibiscus flower tea. But of course, hibiscus flower tea contains some acids. So it's not something you should be drinking every day. Yes, if you drink it every day, you will see the negative effect. And honestly, you may never want to drink it again. I don't want to talk about it. It's a subject for another day. You may never want to take it again because of those acids and what it can do to you. So you need to, when you are going to bed, it's what I do, get some drinks, non-caffeinated drinks that can help you to quickly unwind when your body is about to switch off. It is very important. Doesn't matter what you eat. It's no longer like before. Sometimes you eat all the good food, vegetables, but if there's not something liquid, yes, all you need to heal. Okay, it's in your kitchen. Okay, you can also ask me any question if you have. Yes, if you have any question, you can also drop it. I may be able to attend to it. So so before you go to bed, sometimes I lie down. This is what I notice. Before now, you could just notice that you are off. Before you know it, you are off to sleep. Yes, you are off to sleep. But now, it's no longer like that. You lie down and your body is taking time. Sometimes it's like I'm attentive, rather, to what goes on. This is something I don't know whether it happens with others or it's just peculiar to myself. Sometimes as I lie down on the bed, I tend to like listen to what is going on. Don't engage in extreme stress. Just one tip. Because of this particular, effort to unwind when you lie down. Because I noticed that the longer, it's one of the changes I'm trying to make. The longer you stay without taking a break, the longer it takes the body to unwind. To kind of, to pack up everything, to be ready for you to sleep. Let me put it in a simple term. The longer you stay moving in an inactivity, the longer it's going to take your body to go to sleep. That's just the way to put it. So as a senior, you must have this in your mind. And there are things you can do to help your body to quickly fall asleep. Or else you may be on your bed for 4 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. You are still awake. Why? Despite all the healthy foods you ate, I want you to pay attention. You had all the vegetables, everything that you ever knew was healthy. You had it. But yet, when you went to lie down, you are still awake for a longer time before you sleep. And nobody desires this. So you need to get some liquid things that can easily go straight to the cellular level. This is my experience. And this is one of the things I'm doing. I shared a video on it already in some of the latest things I'm doing. Yes. If you don't do it, it may take you longer. The few times I did it, though it may have taken me like 2 hours or 3 hours, you are right with sleep. I drink lots of water to keep hydrated. I just had to adjust my lifestyle. I can't sleep till around 2 a.m. So I sleep till 10 a.m. to get my 8 hours. Oh my God, that's wonderful. I'm so happy with that contribution at Rimia Day. I'm glad you are also confirming what I'm saying. Now, why it is good for us to be commenting to things like that, to things, you are also contributing so that others who are experiencing that thing will not be feeling as if something strange is happening to them. So you have also, I have chatted a lot of people, and when I chat them who are having issues like sleep deprivation, which I already shared several videos on it, and I did one recently. Some of them are also reasoning that gracious grace, that each time I lie down on the bed, I just take off to sleep and start maybe, enjoying the sleep. Not at all. There are nights, each nights are different. Like you are saying now, sometimes you stay until 4 a.m. But that 2 a.m. is not always the best. But I can guide you on what you can do also. If you notice that to help, not that at least it can help. Because we keep looking for solutions to solve problems on a daily basis. There's no end to it. So one of the things that I notice that makes it harder to fall asleep is too much activity without taking a break. And this is very common with us seniors. We're always very active. We want to be everywhere. We want to attend all the meetings, do all the chats, all the WhatsApp chats, meet up with all the WhatsApp group, family issues. So many things are always seeking for the attention of those in this age group and age bracket. So many things. Family, children, sometimes grandchildren, a lot of things are seeking your attention. And you want to meet up, both those online, both those offline. And so at the one time, you notice that you are more active than you should. Even myself. So by the time you now go to lie down, it is taking longer. That's what I'm saying. And to avoid that taking longer is what I want to share with you now. One of the things you do is take a break in the afternoon, maybe 3 o'clock to 4 or 2 to 3, depending on your own time range and how you want to take it. Or at least from 1 o'clock. It's okay, depending on when you woke up in the morning. For instance, someone that woke up around 10, you shouldn't be expecting to go to bed by 1 o'clock. That's about just 3 hours. You may not even have had your breakfast. So it depending. But if you woke up at 6 a.m., like some of us, 5 a.m. or 6 a.m., maybe by 1 o'clock, it may be ideal to 1 or 2. It may be ideal to take off and take a break and rest. And even when the sleep is not coming, we just rest. If you have the control, rest, close your eyes and find a place to relax, lie down and rest. At least 30, 40 minutes is not bad, even 1 hour. In some occasions, if you are able to fall asleep, depending on what you had. Because what you ate plays a lot of role. And so, if you do it, you may notice that the awake time may be reduced. And there is one other food that helps it, which I don't take all the time because it's a blood thickener, and that is the moringa leaf. Once in a while, if you have access to that moringa leaf, it can help you sleep, wake up and want to sleep again, and fall asleep again. And so what I do, like in this case now, like keeping hydrated is one of the things I do. I drink water. I don't mind about urination because it's the more you drink, the more you urinate. But the best time to drink is in the morning. I take in the morning. But each time I notice that I'm poorly hydrated, somehow, I do feel it. The days that I didn't take enough, there may be need to take even during bedtime. Because if you don't take, the body will not allow you to take off. Yes, to take off to the land of the unknown. Why? Because the body knows that you may not be able to come back. The body is very smart. Our body is smart. That's what I've come to realize. It's so smart that it cannot take off if it has not checked, just like a car. If it's not sure that you return from that journey, it's not going to take off. So when you are awake, don't be angry or with yourself. Just be happy with what God has done. Because if everything is not at a balance, your body definitely won't go. Once it goes, there are sometimes your sugar may not be up to what can sustain you until you wake up. You won't sleep. You won't sleep. I've had it occasionally. You won't sleep because the sugar level is not up to what can sustain your body to work for those hours and then bring you back to this side of the divide. So at times it amazes me how smart the body is and how God, package all these things and they are just doing their job. So once you are not able to sleep, maybe something is missing or something is not in place or it's not at a balance. So, but what I normally do once in a while, apart from being properly hydrated with water, is to do something that will drop some nutrients. I drop it in that video. You can go watch it. It's for 8 minutes. But I just did it. I didn't have to start dressing the video, like adding other images. I just told my followers exactly what I'm doing to help me to continue to stay without drugs in 26, to help me to continue to live my life relying on foods as my medicine, to help me to continue to live without antibiotics and all those analgesics. So that is it. Then there is something else again that I am also doing in 2026, which I wasn't doing last year. Well, maybe before the third quarter of last 2025, because I just remember that some of these things I already started late, that's the 12th month, which is December, the later part of it. So up to this time around. And that is massaging my knee. It's something I never thought in my life that I will ever, it never came, not as if the knee is paining me. But after that experience I had last time with oral plantain, my dear, it is good for us to examine our knees. But once your feet begin to have problem, your two legs, it's a very serious issue. So why am I massaging my knee with olive oil? Look at, I mix this oil. Look at it. This is turmeric with olive oil. I mix it together, turmeric with olive oil. Look at it. I don't know how to. Look at it. Turmeric with olive oil. In the night, after cleaning my body, I put it on my knees, massage the knees to improve circulation. So. But after examining one of my knees on my right hand, and I noticed that one of the bones doesn't seem to be in line. And it's good we often examine our body, especially our bone area like the legs. Yes, I wasn't doing it. But when I look at it and saw that it's already like losing the alignment, you can check your own today when you get home or while you are still watching. So I didn't have to wait until it starts paining. It's not paining me though, but I got to get the turmeric and the olive oil, mix it together, turmeric powder. And I noticed that each time I massage it before bed, the heat, I like the feeling. Remember that dampness is not good. When your body experiences coldness, a lot of people are suffering arthritis because they allowed coldness to enter that place. They allowed dampness so that blood circulation will be kind of something that will be disrupted rather. Yes, blood circulation will be disrupted. So I try to use this turmeric powder and olive oil, mix it in a container. And so before I go to bed, although for those who are experiencing pain, they can use something like a cover or a bandage or whatever to wrap it. But since I'm not really feeling pain there, but the way I look at it, it seems to be getting out of, gradually losing its alignment when compared to the other feet. Check your own if you are over 60. Ensure that it is aligned. If it's not aligned, you can start doing this thing I'm doing to ensure that there are no inflammations, because it is the root cause of diseases. Sometimes these inflammations could be there for months, for years, without you knowing. But before we realize it, the damage is already done. So what I am doing now, which I wasn't doing before, is to put the olive oil and the turmeric, which I brought to show us. Look at it. Look at the olive oil. Look at it. So I brought it to show us that this is, I mix it and, I mix it, and then at bedtime, I put it and massage it on my knee. And once it is done, you feel the heat moving around, even up to your liver, up to your body, to your heart. You see it moving because our body is somehow connected. The nerves are there. So I don't do it only on the right knee. I also do the left knee, though that left knee has not shown me any sign of being out of the alignment, I mean the bone. I just noticed this one. I say, this one is different from this. it looks like this one is not fully aligned. So I began to do this thing, and it's really, I'm feeling it's going to help to prevent it, because prevention is always better than cure. So that's what I'm doing newly in this year. That is part of the aging. So you need to do certain things to prevent, where you have to start managing it, going to hospital, going to keep appointment. We can actually do it. Another thing that can be done in such a case, which I'm also trying to do, apart from exercising, is to monitor the weight gain. I also noticed that there was a slight increase in the weight. Although some of you may not. Remi Ade, how do you prevent staining of clothes? Oh my God. As a matter of fact, thank you for this question. Thank you very much. The few times I've done it, actually, I've not really noticed any serious staining, because I'm always also mindful of it. But I knew that, some time ago, I used to notice some kind of yellowish stain on my bedsheet that I'll be wondering, but it didn't occur to me that it is that something that I was doing. Just like I said, we should rinse our mouth after taking the other drink I said I take at night sometimes to help me to quickly fall asleep. That I usually rinse my mouth too with warm water in sea. So I have a flask, hot water flask by my bedside, which I can always put my hands at any time to take. And I have some bottles of water to mix with the hot water to take, to prevent standing up or moving up and down before I get it. So the staining of the bed, like you are saying, is something that had occurred one or two occasions, but I didn't. But what happened is that most time I use trouser. I wear trousers to sleep. So the trousers does not actually, immediately I finish rubbing it, the trousers, I put it on, because I always like to keep warm during bedtime. So when I wear the trousers seem to take charge of that. I think, does that answer your question? When I wear the trouser immediately, because after that, those massage, I have to take care of the other parts of the body. Then I quickly put on my trouser, and the trouser is not a white one, of course. So a white trouser will quickly expose everything. So I wear it on a few days, and I put it for washing. Is that okay? It depends, because when I put it on, it doesn't touch the bed sheet. I have never seen anything like that on my bed sheet. What do you say about that? At Remi Ade, what do you say about that? So you say yes, like how? Yes, what are you saying yes to? Are you saying it's okay that way, or it's a good thing, you want to try it also? What is the yes? I'm waiting. So we are talking of, because that's what I do. Once I finish it, I put on my trouser immediately. And that seems to be taking care of it. But it's not usually very sticky like that, too. It's not so, I don't put plenty like that, just a little. But you know that turmeric is quite hot. So it's not something that I normally put lots of it, because of course I don't have pain there. Okay, but you know that turmeric is not the same thing as castor oil. So they are different, to be honest with you. I have castor oil, but I've never tried it on it. But if castor oil is okay for you, there's no problem. You can use it. You can use it. But the turmeric is the one, I just started it. So far now, you are my senior. You are 63 already, and I'm just 62. I'll be 62 this year. So what I'm trying to say is, you have already, started it, and it's a good thing. You see, I just started it on my own. I wasn't experiencing pain, like pain is paining me, but I had an experience which I shared last year. And so I decided to, after examining my knee, that the right knee doesn't seem to be. But is it your right knee? Were you feeling pain before you started the castor oil, or you are just also trying to be, cautious, not to allow any degeneration of the joint? Were you feeling pain before you started using the castor oil? I'm responding to you. At Remy Ade, I'm responding to you. Okay, you see? Why is it always the right knee? It's my right knee also. It's my right knee also that I noticed that was showing those signs of playing up. I wasn't actually feeling, I was actually feeling pain. But I had pain by my hip, below my waist here, last year after eating a certain food, which I already shared during that chat, what I ate and how it was resolved within 3 days, quickly resolved, and it wasn't that I had to be on medication or go to the hospital, but God intervened for me, as always doing, and through just a few changes, and then drawing back on what caused it, as we often tell ourselves here, and then trying to adjust some nutritional changes. And God just had mercy on me, and it was resolved. And so that was it. And I already shared the experience and just added to my own experience. And I'm also trying to, I use castor. I have castor, but I have not used it to be massaging my legs or my feet, my joint. But whenever I use that the castor is a bit sticky. And that's just the thing. It's sticky somehow. It's sticky, has a more sticky feeling than when you use olive oil. And maybe over time now, you may still buy this my turmeric idea and find a way, if you will need a bandage to cover the oil. So, but that the turmeric is lighter and the olive oil is a little bit lighter than the castor oil. Okay, I think you are right. You see, I think you are right. You see, we always use the right leg to step upstairs, so it takes the whole body weight for a few seconds, but for many years it adds up. Yes, I think I agree with you. All these things doesn't just start overnight. We'll be using it the right leg, well knowing that you are very much on point. I'm telling you, you are, because I have also seen a couple of people with that same right leg. I've seen 1 or 2 persons in my right leg. This my own, it hasn't started paining, but I don't see sign already. So the thing the head of the bone, I think you get what I'm saying. I examined it myself, though I'm not orthopedic or whatever, but you can know when your 2 legs are not looking the same. Yes, so that is it. When the joint, I'm talking about joint, when the joints are not aligned as the other one. So that is it. So I think we'll be rounding up, and I want to thank you particularly for staying on at Remia Day. I want to thank every one of you for coming to my live today. Okay, you say I consciously step and change legs when I step into my house. So, like you said now, there are other things that I do which I'm not doing regularly, like soaking the 2 feet in water to improve circulation, and even if it's once in 3 weeks, it takes time, like for 30 minutes. Soak them with sea salt, add some, maybe a dash of ginger oil. I have ginger oil, or maybe some other essential oil, 1 or 2 drops. Put the legs, allow it to sit with the salt, sea salt, for like 30 minutes or sometimes 25 minutes. I do it, but I've not done it for some time. It takes time, requires patience. But anytime you do it, you feel lighter and you feel healthier. You sleep faster. But the time to start sitting on it, and yes, but anytime you feel, that your body is getting more sluggish, you do it. Put the sea salt, some sea salt in the basin, and soak your feet, to cover your feet, and sit on it for like 30 minutes maximum. Not, it's best 30 minutes or 25 minutes, but anything more than it, the bacteria that came out will start going back to the body. Something I've noticed. And it's not even good to do it for too less. So the best thing is 25-30 minutes. And you wash the leg. After washing it in that warm water, you kind of give it like a treat, massage, the feet. Just like treat it very well with olive oil. Treat it, all the corners, and just like you are giving something a treatment. So anytime you do it, you see how well you sleep that night. And if you have a lavender oil, you can drop 1 or 2, a few drops in the water, soak your feet, or any of those oils, even lemon oil. They remove some bacteria. Bacteria are everywhere. Keep the feet warm, and that warmness, I do it once in a while, but not always, but I wish to do it more frequently. But of course, so many factors come to take our time, and I do not do as often. Sometimes when you are pressured, like the one of last year, because of that pressure, of that pain that I never had such before, I had to do that particular thing. But I wish we should just do some of these things and not wait until we are forced by pains or some other things to start doing it under pressure. So that is it. I would like to thank you again. Thank all of you. We've had a little time chatting and talking. And if you have any question, you can also drop the question. But right now, I want to say it's time for me to say bye. And thank you all, particularly my friend at Remy Ade. Thank you so much for all your comments, your contributions. It's good when we are in a platform like this to contribute, make our own input, because it may be helping some other persons, may bless someone. Yes, even myself, who is also anchoring the program, I'm also blessed, because we are learning from me, I'm learning from you. That is it. We can't deny this fact. You are learning, I'm learning also. We are all learning. So once again, thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, Healthy Food Place. I am Gracious Grace. My full name, Grace Enemali. Thank you for that message. Remain blessed and keep staying healthy naturally. Bye for now. See you again.